This is why you're not shredded and you don't have your dream physique, but you still eat meat and you still want your dream body before summer, but you're making some crucial mistakes which are ruining your physique. This happened to me when I was very skinny, around 170 in high school, but I was eating 100% clean. I was eating my beef, my eggs, having my little protein shakes, but guess what? I don't really have my dream physique. It's because I was doing it incorrect. So if I'm calling you out right now, this video is for you so you can build your dream physique. So you can look insanely jacked before summer. Or you got a wedding coming up. Or you got kids and you want your kids to look up to a stoic, strong man. Okay? That was me as a kid. My dad was absolutely jacked and he's still jacked. So that's what helped me get absolutely jacked. It's because I seen my dad and I followed in his footsteps. So if you're ready to follow this video, you need a pen, a paper. We're about to fully lock in. Remember, Jesus is king. Let's get jacked for Jesus. I'm going to take you through what you need to know and what you need to do if you're eating meat. Okay, and if you want to get jacked, we're about to just dive straight into it. Let's lock in. Let's go. So we're about to fully dive in. You are eating meat right now, correct? And you still look the same. This is why. On the left photo, that's me at the age of 18. I was skinny, I was shredded, I had a pretty good physique, but I was not packing on a crazy amount of muscle, even though I was eating meat like eggs, bacon, okay? Steak, chicken, with my protein shakes. And I was not getting results. But me on the right, I have an insane physique. As you can tell, my chest looks bigger. My shoulders look bigger. My abs are still shredded. And it's because I made these small little changes that help me build that physique. Okay, because there's not a big difference in age. Okay, maybe that's 2 years of a difference. Okay, but if I didn't make this small change in those 2 years, I would have stayed the same. And that's probably a position that you're in right now. Maybe you started working out 6 months ago and not seeing any changes. Well, you're probably making this mistake. We're going to dive in. Okay. You don't have a physique problem, okay? Each one of us has a good physique if you actually build it and you actually set your mind on discipline, okay? It's not about your diet. It's about how you stay consistent with your diet. And if you're not tracking anything, if you're skipping workouts, if your sleep is trash, how do you ever expect to get insane results? Okay? Right here, my physique did not look good. Well, what was I doing in this photo? Right here, I was in Greece, Italy on a trip. And I was not tracking my meals at all. I wasn't eating clean at all. There's a photo right here of pizza, okay? Not that much protein, a lot of carbs. So you wonder why I'm holding fat right here, okay? And I was skipping workouts. Yes, I went to the gym a couple of times on my quote unquote vacation, but most people fall off on vacation because they don't want it that bad. Right here, I didn't want it that bad because I had a decent physique. I didn't care that I gained some body fat. I probably gained about 5% of body fat just by going on this trip. Okay? And that is my self-value going down for myself. If I want to hold myself to a high standard of being 12% body fat, absolutely shredded year round, then I have to be staying consistent every single day and building my discipline. But if I'm not building my discipline and I break that discipline as soon as I go on a trip, just to fill a void of eating pizza, of skipping workouts, of not tracking nothing, how do I ever expect to grow? Okay? So I'm going to crack open your mind. Let's go. Boom. Eating meat doesn't make you lean. Consistency does. Eating the same meals, hitting your protein goal, training 5 to 6 times a week, and tracking your progress and locking in your sleep. Okay? This is a new version of myself. I went on a trip, right? But the first trip I went on, Greece, Italy, I was not tracking nothing. I wasn't hitting my protein goal. I was not training 5 to 6 times a week. Okay? So my physique looked terrible. But in this photo, I look shredded. I look more jacked. It's because I had everything locked in. Okay? I was eating the same meals every single day. This photo right here: beef, eggs, white rice. We got avocado there. And we got dragon fruit. Okay? All these foods matter. And I was tracking everything. And I was training 5 to 6 times a week. And my sleep was fully locked in. That's why my physique looked 10 out of 10, even though I'm traveling around the world. So there's no excuses. I was busy. I was hopping on client calls, making YouTube videos. Okay? So there's zero excuses for any of us not to be in the best shape of our lives year round. Okay? You need to set the foundation. You need to get your mindset on point. That's where it's at. If I didn't get my mindset on point of, yeah, I want to be jacked and shredded while traveling, it would have never happened. But me, I'm a coach. I need to hold myself to the highest standard. Okay? And then my clients are going to follow that. If you want to be a dad in the future, or if you want to be a mom, you got to hold yourself to a high standard, because your kids are going to see every single action that you take, and they're going to follow your actions and your steps. My dad got jacked. I got jacked. I'm jacked. My son's going to be jacked. Okay? And I'm speaking it into existence. I'm a believer in Christ. God says, use your tongue to bring life, not death. Okay? So speak your goals into existence, and it's guaranteed going to happen. Boom. You're overeating. And yes, you can overeat while eating clean. This is what happened to me. This is why you're not shredded and why I was not shredded. When I was 230, fat, depressed, had a double chin, I would walk into the coffee shop and the chicks would kind of laugh. But they weren't laughing with me. They were laughing at me because I had a double chin. But now I walk in the coffee shop, the chicks are smiling. Well, it's because I look good, because I'm shredded. Okay. So if you want to get shredded, it doesn't matter how clean you eat. If you're not tracking anything, you're never going to get your dream results. So if your goal is to lose body fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Everybody knows this. But the one thing people don't know is the mindset behind the calorie deficit. How bad do you want to lose that fat? Are you done looking at yourself in the mirror and being depressed and lazy and fat? Okay? You have a self-limiting belief that thinks you have to be the same your whole life. You think that you have to carry the burdens on your shoulders of being fat your whole life. Guess what? You don't. Okay, I grew up in an environment of processed food. If I would have still kept that same mindset of, oh, Julian, you eat processed food. That's how you were raised. You have to stay the same. I would still be in the same position, eating processed food, having brain fog, having bad skin. Okay? But guess what? I changed my mindset and said, I'm going to make a change. I'm better than the processed food. I'm better than my environment. I'm better than the way that I grew up. Okay? Most people that are fat, out of shape when they were kids, they still hold on to that same identity as they grow older. It's because they're not changing their mindset. Everything starts in the mind. If you don't believe you can do something, you will never do it. All the information is out there for you to get absolutely shredded and jacked. But one thing that is holding you back is your mindset. If you don't change the mind, you will never change the actions behind the identity you are right now. You are right now is not good enough to have your dream physique. That's why you're watching this video. Maybe you're watching this video for motivation. Maybe you're watching this video for guidance. Well, guess what? The guidance starts in your heart. It starts with a vision. The reason why I have my dream physique is because I know my kids are going to look up to me. I know my wife is going to respect me. I know when I walk into my job, I'm the most jacked person there, which helps me train people to the highest level. Okay, if I didn't have my dream physique, I would never be a personal trainer. I would never be an online coach. But guess what? I built it from the ground up. I used to be very skinny. I got picked on by my brothers. I got beat up by my brother because I was smaller. But now I'm big because God has rose me up. That's why I'm always going to stay humble, because whatever position you're in right now, you can always grow and get better. God will always give you a way out to grow closer to Him, to see His vision, to see His guidance. But if you don't see His guidance, if you don't chase after God, chase after the highest version of yourself, you're never going to reach it. Most of my clients that struggle with losing weight, it's because they're still fighting the same identity as the old version of themselves. And they haven't changed their mindset. They haven't fully committed. Okay, if you don't fully commit to your results, you're wasting time. And you might as well go do something else with that time. Okay? So you already know all this information. A calorie deficit to lose weight. If you want to lose half a pound, do 250. If you want to lose a whole pound in a week, go on a 500 calorie deficit. If you want to build muscle, you want to go in a surplus. So it's the same thing, 250 or 500. Make sure you're taking that surplus slow, because you don't want to pack on too much fat. So I definitely recommend you gain half a pound on that surplus, so you're building mostly lean muscle and you don't pack on fat. You don't want fat. You want to be shredded. Okay. And you don't need to do a quote unquote bulk phase to actually build more muscle. It's just going to get you fat and it's going to waste your time. That's what happened to me. I did a bulk phase. I'm 230. I'm fat. I'm over 15% body fat, but I'm going to help get you shredded and jacked. Like, that makes no sense at all. Okay. This is when I was on the carnivore diet and I was just stuffing my face. Like, I look stupid. Okay. You're training. Okay, you might actually need help with training and actually getting a true workout split. So pay close attention. So you got to train to build muscle, correct? If you don't train hard enough, you're not going to grow. You need to do progressive overload. You need to lift very heavy. And here's my workout split. So for muscle growth, this split is fire. Push, pull, leg. So you're going to be hitting each muscle group twice a week. Monday is a push day, so you're hitting chest, shoulders, and triceps. Okay? Tuesday is a pull day, so you're going to be doing back, biceps, and I also add in abs too. And then Wednesday is just going to be legs. And then you're going to repeat that for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay? And if you're aiming to gain more strength, but you also build muscle too, you can do this split. It's basically 3 days on, 1 day off, repeat split. So you're going to do chest, core, back, biceps, shoulders, tris, and legs. And the reason why this split's so good for strength is because you're not hitting chest and shoulders on the same day, and you get a little bit more rest. So this is going to be more catered towards power lifters, people that are trying to get really strong. But if you're trying to build as much muscle, I would go for this one. If you want to build some strength and muscle, go for this one. But with that being said, if you don't do progressive overload, you're not going to have a good physique. You got to make sure you're upping the weight. Even me on a cut right now, I'm still maxing out my squat. I'm still training at failure. I'm still lifting heavy every single day because I want to maintain muscle. If you don't train your muscle to lift heavy, your body won't hold on to that muscle because your body's like, oh, I don't need this muscle anymore. So I'm just not going to hold on to it anymore, because your body wants to preserve energy. Okay? It doesn't want to use energy. Your body loves to stay the same. So if you keep your weights the same, your body is not going to change or grow. It's going to deplete and get worse. Okay? And if you avoid carbs but have no energy, it's because you're not using carbs correctly. You got to be timing your carbs. Time your carbs around your workouts. Okay? I make sure to hit my protein goal. 1 body gram per protein. 1 gram of protein per body weight. Okay? So my goal is 200 pounds right now on my cut. I weighed myself today. I'm 209, right? So I'm getting enough protein every single day. And the rest, I'm just filling it in with carbs. And then I'm getting at least above 50 grams of fat for my hormones and health. Okay? So make sure you eat enough carbs for your workouts. And I recommend you eat most of your carbs before you work out. So my first and second meal are my biggest meals with carbs because I know I'm gonna have an insane workout in the afternoon. So my breakfast has a whole bunch of carbs, my lunch has a whole bunch of carbs, and then my final meal of the day has medium amount of carbs, not as much as the first and second. So I'm carb loading before I work out to have a fire pump. Okay, just make sure you're tracking everything. Don't just be stuffing your face, or you're never gonna get results. If you want abs, don't really skip steps. I get 10K steps every day. That's just going to help you shred down and help you lose more body fat and burn more fat. So you should be keeping your steps around the same every day so you could make the right changes to your diet. And that's what's going to help you fully lock in. And if your sleep is trash, then don't ever expect to have good results. I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night, and I sleep really good. So then I know that I'm healing and recovering. So then I know I'm building my dream body. If you don't sleep, how do you ever expect to grow? That's like planting a seed, right? And not watering it. How do you expect the seed to grow if you don't even give it some water, some hydration? Or not letting the seed or plant get sunlight. Like these are like simple things. You gotta think about it. And yeah, you're gonna have to miss out on opportunities. You're gonna have to miss out on parties with your friends. You had to miss out on little family get-togethers to get your sleep. I had to do this. There was campfires that were nice at my dad's, right? And I would still go to sleep early because I wanted to recover. I wanted to max out my gains. Okay, so you had to miss out on little things. Okay? Because your body is a reflection of your habits. If you don't have intentions to build your dream body, how do you ever expect to build it? If you don't have intentions with that girl, how do you ever expect to grow it? If you don't have intentions with your business, how do you ever expect your business to take off? If I don't have intentions with this video, how do I ever expect to hit the spot in your mind? Okay, intentions is where it's at. If you want to meet built physique, you gotta earn it. And the reason why my username is meet built physique is because that's how I built my physique, was eating meat, eating my protein, and getting jacked. Okay, me and my whole life, I've always liked eating a lot of protein, a lot of meat, whether it was steak, chicken, turkey, it didn't matter. Okay? So that being said, hopefully you locked in your notes and you enjoyed this video. Because this video is supposed to change your life if you actually use it correctly. If you don't guide yourself in the right way, if you don't follow the King of Kings to build your dream physique, how do you ever expect to make a change? You're gonna stay the same. You're gonna stay small. I don't want you small because I used to be small. I used to get picked on. I used to get laughed at. I was a skinny guy, a little dweeb. But now I'm jacked because God gave me the vision. Now I'm giving you the vision, okay? So you got two options there. You got an option to follow the steps and track everything. Get your sleep, lock in, so you can build your dream physique, or you can keep going through the motions. It's really up to you. As you can see, I set my life up for success. Got my meal prep there, eggs, beef, yogurt. There's cheese up there. We got everything because I care about who I'm becoming. Okay, we got the treadmill. If it's raining, I'm walking on the treadmill, getting my 10K steps. So it really comes down to your environment. It comes down to your mindset and how bad do you want it. I know that this summer, the lake is going to be really nice. The sun is going to be out. So how do I want to be when the sun is out? Do I want to be the guy with my shirt on because I'm depressed, because I have anxiety about my physique? Or do I want to be the guy that invites my friends, my family to the lake, cooks for them? I have my shirt off. I got the abs popping. I'm the light in the room because I actually care about myself and my self-improvement. And I'm not afraid to come out my comfort zone and be a little different. I'm not afraid to suffer for Jesus. Jesus even says, the one who starves will be gifted. The one who starves for him will have glory in the kingdom of God. But if you don't starve and you pick your comfort zone, how do you ever expect to grow? So I just want to crack open your mind, because you are this close to making a change. But if you don't want it that bad, don't ever expect a change to happen. The information is all out there. If you want guidance, if you want to talk to me one-on-one every single week, I do coaching, but I only take people that are serious about a transformation. So hopefully you like this video. I'm going to keep growing each and every day. This account is going to take over the game. So just make sure you keep focusing on your physique, keep focusing on your mindset. Catch you later. Peace.